What is going on, everybody? This is our final match of week 4 of the World Cup seeding phase, and it is going to be between Mexico and Colombia, which is kind of a decisive match for our top group of teams and figuring out who's going to be playing against each other next week. On commentary, we've got myself, Dashy, and I'm being accompanied by Rare, Drask.
What's up, everybody? My name's Rare.
Oh, he actually is doing the YouTube stream, by the way. We got thrown for a curveball.
Oh. Nice that we do have our 4 POVs.
To hear my typewriter for a few seconds, because the stream wasn't live yet, I don't think. Unless it's been live this whole time, we just couldn't find it, but yeehaw, here we are. Anyway, so they're in the middle. Actually, the lobby's built. We're gonna try to run through this real quick then.
Yeah.
So draft has already been finished. You can see our lineup. Our lineup is accurate there. We have Colombia starting off with Koala Carnival, followed up by Mexico's picks of Engine Labs and Prehistoric Playground, followed by Colombia back at it with the Oxide Station and Jungle Boogie, Mexico with Tiny Arena and Android Alley, then Colombia back with Barin Ruins Coca Park, and then we're going to end it off on Mexico's pick of Assembly Lane. Some kind of straightforward picks, I suppose. The Jungle Boogie and Oxide Station don't surprise me at all from Colombia. I think Tiny Arena has been picked pretty much every single time from Mexico, so that's also not surprising.
Yeah, Tiny Arena is a really strong track for Mexico in general. I feel like, I mean, of course everyone there's got good lines, but I feel like they really excel when it comes to item play. And I think on Tiny Arena that can really help them win those early interactions, and then they can snowball that into getting away, which is so prevalent on Tiny Arena.
Yeah, true. Actually, if you take a look at Mexico's picks in general, they're all relatively long tracks. Like, even for 3 laps, all of them are over 2 minutes long.
Yeah, very true.
So, I think that's kind of a normal thing from what I've seen from Team Mexico. So,
yeah,
it's not super surprising, but it's just something to point out that there's lots of long races.
In the reverse, Colombia's picked 3 really short tracks: Koala Carnival, Jungle Boogie, Coco Park.
Yeah.
With the only really long track they have being Oxide Station.
Which is one of the longer tracks in the game, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one doesn't surprise me because, I mean, Pedro is very strong on Oxide Station, so there's that. And actually, we're going to start getting into this race already.
Yeah.
Not into the race, we're in the load screen.
Loading in now, so 3 minutes to go.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be the last match of this seeding phase, and I don't know if you've been paying attention to the leaderboard itself, but basically this match is going to define who plays against Team Saudi Arabia, our current top seed.
Yeah, so we were looking at this last night on stream, and we determined that if Colombia win by, I think it was about 20?
20? Yep.
Then they will be the ones playing Saudi Arabia, and if they don't win by 20 or more, then it's going to be United States versus Saudi Arabia.
Correct. Yeah, that should be correct at least. Take a look here. Yeah, because they have to pass up Team USA in point diff. So yeah, that's definitely a big deal. I'm gonna open up our POVs right now. Why is shot? I never. Okay, you know what? Just bear with me.
All right. In the meantime, we'll be. Oh, here we go. All right, so we'll just see some freezes as the POV sync up, and here we go. So we see Santi early on going tight, but getting beaked alongside Shotzi. So Mexican Pedro, the ones at the front here. Pedro using his item, so both have no item at the moment, going over Blue Fire. Oh, we see Shotzi with the early engine. He does get taken out here, but if he can he decides to go for infinite reserves instead of the unjuiced engine to try and catch up here. We'll see if he's able to get some items to come back, as we see up the front Mexican Pedro neck and neck for first place. We can see who's going to get the item interaction here, and it's Pedro gets the bomb on Mexic before he can put his shield on.
Yeah, so, but then Pedro does end up getting taken down, and a clock comes out within
Clock from
40
Shotzi.
seconds of the start. Okay. Yeah, Shotzi with that
mashing
clock.
that clock out and then getting 2 masks. That's going to be massive for Team Mexico as he's able to come up and take out the opposition here. Definitely weaving around Angel there to avoid the team kill.
Yeah, he's just going to run 2 masks here throughout this entire lap with infinite reserves. He's going to move all the way up into the number 3 spot, maybe even the number 4 spot, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like we've
Or number
got
2.
I think 2-3 at the very least for Mexico. I can't tell who's playing the Amy, but I think that might be Mexico.
I'll try to take a look on Shansi's POV, but I can't even quite... No, I think that's Audrey.
Okay, so that Colombia are holding first place then. So we see that Mexico with a 2-3 at the very least here. And then I think the pinstripes might be the rest for Team Mexico.
Yeah, probably. That'd be my guess
So we're
as
looking
well.
at a 2-3-4-5 for Mexico here. So that's looking like very strong spots at the moment. Although Angel has just been taken out and is now fallen down into 7th. We see Santi and Pedro both masking here, but Pedro's missiles as he catches up aren't going to be able to hit 4th place here. Santi does have a 6th place mask and he's going to be using it here to try and catch up, but he is only close to Pedro here, so he does have to be a little careful.
Yeah, Audrey still holding out that... oh, Pedro ends up getting hit in like a really
And
unfortunate spot. Who threw
Orb
the
comes
orb?
through. It looks like it was Mexico. It takes out 1st place, and so Shotzi comes up into 1st, gets the bomb onto Audrey, and also gets traded. This allows Mexic to fly up into 1st place here with a semi-decent lead with only a Coco right behind him. Shotzi
And he ends up getting taken down.
Oh, that's really strong for Team Colombia here. Shotzi going to be coming up into 2nd here, but he's got Santi right on top of him. Takes him out with a bomb here. No one else seems to be around. He can maybe try and take out Audrey here over Blue Fire, which would be crucial for Team Mexico to stay ahead.
Yeah, it looks like this race is pretty much safely secured 1st place for Team Colombia. Pedro Gaming.
Let's see if he gets anything from this. He's going, he hits the wall.
Oh, but he ends up hitting
the
nitro.
Oh,
that's really unfortunate for him. Yeah, he was going to at least get 6th out of that otherwise. Okay, so the Coco was for Nan. I just remembered I'm scoring, so.
Alright, so we see the pinstripes and the pinstripes, the polar, and the crash playing for Team Mexico, and then we see the Cocos, the Amy, and the Yaya for Team Colombia here. So we can all ask what that dog be doing in the meantime as we get these scores up here. So...
I was about to say, you're going to see this between every single race, by the way.
Which is, of course, an absolute blessing. I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, that one should have been a win for Mexico, I believe, from the positions I saw. So we'll see how big of a win they managed to get out of this first race. Yeah, we saw some really clutch moments in that race. We saw the pulsewood at the end by Pedro, getting so close to gaining some positions there. Could have definitely gotten at the very least 6th. I don't know if he would have been able to get anything more, but hitting that nitro really secured the fact that he wasn't able to come back. He didn't get an item on the way when he was doing the pulsewood, as he was going tight to avoid the other players. And so that meant as soon as he got hit, he had absolutely no momentum, which is unfortunate for him, but it was very good for Team Mexico, who did play really well. We saw some really good plays by Shotzi and Mexic on our POVs there, fending off the Colombians at the front, and the orb really helped them out there, being able to take out 1st place.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, wait, why did it? Oh, the scoreboard didn't update. Okay, give me a sec.
Alright, we'll have to refresh the cache here and then we'll be able to see the exact points. So Dashy's just wanting to keep me in suspense, doesn't want me to know the scores. Completely understandable.
Indeed.
Ah, here we go. 5-point win for Mexico. No, for Colombia. They didn't realize they were reversed. So yeah, that was actually a Colombian win. Looks like they got 1-3-4-8 on this race.
There you go. I don't know what. Usually, if you hit sort, it switches teams if necessary, but it didn't that time. But we are going into the next race already, which will be Engine Labs.
Pretty stock standard pick from Mexico here. I feel like not just Mexico pick it a lot, but I think we've talked about it before on stream. It's a track a lot of teams like to pick. It's generally seen as a fairly safe pick alongside Mystery Caves. It's like, I guess you could equate it to Blue Fire Mystery Caves in terms of drafting in that case.
Kind of. There's a lot of spots that you can get your fire back, so it's not too detrimental if you get hit once, and it's a relatively simple track.
Yeah. It's a lot more blind than Mystery Caves because, of course, going around a square corner, it's incredibly hard to see traps, but I think we'll be seeing how this comes into action here.
Wait, how is Pedro's stream so far behind?
Pedro's lagged out here, so we've got 3 POVs at the moment as Pedro's fixes itself here. Little far ahead, but he's just being synced up now. Mexic being taken out early alongside Fernan. We see Mexic with some missiles, and he does manage to take someone out over the pad. He does have another one which won't be of use because of his lack of Wampa. We see Pedro beakering Trisky there, so Shotzi with the little break with Pedro right behind him there. Santi not too far behind here with a Mexic, it looks like, in 4th place.
Yeah, that would be Mexican ton. And then from there we have 2 Mexican players, then 2 Colombian players in the back too. Mexican ton gets the squish down onto Santi there.
Almost fails to drop down because of it, but manages to recover there. So now we're seeing 1, 3, 4, 7 for Team Mexico at the moment. Going
after that squish, Santi ended up also getting comboed off of the ramp again a second time and falling all the way down into 8th, unfortunately. So yeah, we see Pedro is still right behind Shotzi. Currently the only, never mind, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, very nice bomb, but Shotzi did lose fire for that, but at the same time, they have such a lead, it doesn't matter as Pedro gets comboed even more. Yeah,
there it is, the combo, and actually I think he got comboed 1 more time, so yeah, he got hit 3 times.
Yeah, 3 hits.
All the way down into 4th now.
And concerningly for them, Mexico's in 5th, and they're coming up on Pedro now. He only has an unjuiced missile to defend himself, and he can't do anything as the pinstripe there takes him out. Santi getting hit off of the drop down again. It's going to be a bit traumatizing for him now to get squished by his teammate going backwards.
Yeah, and we currently do have a top 4 from Team Mexico with the current positions. And if you take a look at the minimap, the only one that's really close, I believe that was Fernan? I forgot which one was the Beach Coco? Or not Fernan.
I believe you.
Maybe it is.
We will see. It's one of the Colombians, but we do see that there's two Cocos fairly close to 4th, but at the same time, top 3 have just run away.
I think Fernan actually got hit because if you look at Pedro's screen, he's actually catching up to Fernan. And Fernan was the one that was close. So the gap between 4th and 5th has actually gotten even bigger right now, as Pedro is now moving the 1 to 5th. So they have their work cut out for them to try to come back from this top 4 right now in the last couple laps of this race. And Pedro clipping that corner, losing fire there, so now Fernand's going to take back over.
So they only have 2 laps left, and really having the bottom spots means that yes, Colombia can roll power item, and we don't see anything from top 2, but really at this stage, all they can hope for, as we see the clock, and it does hit 4th place, that was their only position they can really hope to take back here. So we're going to see if they can get the hit off on the pinstripe there, but it looks like they get passed up. So we see, I think you said it was Santi?
Fernan is the Beach Coco.
So they're in 4th now, and we see the pinstripe is holding 5th here. Santi does have a 6th place mask, so we'll see if they can catch up and take them out. It looks like they might be able to do it. As they hit a nitro, so yeah, they've been taken out there. I believe that was Trisky.
Yep, and Pedro goes for the combo onto Trisky with the mask, so he's moving up into 6th place. So currently we have 4, 5, 6.
Shotzi taken out after the tunnel. It looks like he hit a nitro, I think. So we actually look and see that the Beach Coco's really close behind. Except they got taken out as well.
Yeah, if you do take a look at Santi's going to overtake 5th or 4th place right now, and they might be able. No, wait, no, there's no way to catch up.
They're too far away. Yeah. They do have a shield. So if there's a power item like a clock here exactly now, but no, there's not.
Yeah.
So looking like top 3 is secured by Angel. Lost time there. I don't know if he hit the wall or something, but he got passed up by Shotzi and almost overtaken by Santi. But we do see the top 3 secured alongside 7th for Team Mexico there, so a 13-point win.
Yeah, that is a strong win for Team Mexico, which they did need. And also I need to refresh the cache on this banner. Apparently that wasn't syncing up either. There you go.
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't even notice it until the end either way.
Alright, we're good commentators.
Yeah, fantastic. There you go. What the dog doing, etc., etc.
Alright. Chat, I encourage you to spam dog emotes anytime you see the dog and you're wondering what it's doing. But yeah, that race was really rough for Colombia. They got taken out early by Mexico's really strong start. Mexico were quite aggressive there, managing to take out many of the Colombian players early on and getting that break. It was absolutely crucial when Mexico got the squish up on, I believe it was Santi on the drop down, because Santi was the one at closest to the top pack of Mexico, and managed to recover and not fall off of the drop down pattern, because that allowed Santi to get comboed. And then I believe Audrey was the one who got taken out. Yes, it was Audrey also got taken out on the drop down, and those two fell so far behind early on. So despite them being in the really low spots where they're chaining masks and getting good items, they were just so far behind they couldn't catch up, and that just really didn't help the team, as 5th and 6th had to kind of struggle in the middle, not being able to catch up there. They did get the clock, which did manage to take out Trisky, as they were able to catch up and get some combos off, but they were only able to take out the one spot, and the top 3 was a little rough for Colombia to be running off on here.
Yeah, and just in time for me to basically be done with scores, we are already into the loading screen for Prehistoric Playground. And yeah, that was, like I said before doing scores, that was a big showing for Team Mexico there, bringing it back 13 points. I mean, that the clock didn't really do much, I don't think, for Team Colombia.
It took out Trisky, that because it hit him out of the tunnel, and so then Trisky got caught up to, I don't know if 4th comboed because we didn't see the POV, but Trisky then ended up getting caught up to and taken out to 7th, but that's all it did. It took out 4th and that's it.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I'm always gonna make a comment about the gaming tech, but like, I feel like if they would have timed it a little bit better, Pedro could have possibly used Super Engine on because he got hit like in the tunnel, and if they would have gone a little bit later, he could have used it on like that big long straightaway.
True.
Because he had a Super Engine running when he got hit, and I feel like that would have been very useful for making him guaranteed getting hit into something a little bit more useful for him. But here we go, we got Prehistoric Playground. You didn't see anybody go up onto the side wall strat like we see a lot of the times. So we are just doing the dice roll start. And it looks like Colombia is winning that dice roll at the moment with the top 4.
Yeah, taking out Trisky and Mexico, who were the only 2 that survived the pad there for Mexico. So yeah, we're seeing a top 4 at the moment. We'll see what Mexico can do to bring this back, but an incredibly strong start by Team Colombia at the moment.
Yeah, and then Fernandez, the Beach Coco, who apparently doesn't have fire. They've already lost their 4th position, kind of getting juggled between the group of Mexican players right there before the split. So they kind of got their work cut out for them to try to survive through that. They do end up taking down Anton. So Anton falls down into 7th place, but then also there's some...
They combo Fernan as well, so Fernan is on top of Mexico, who then takes him out with a mask here. So Fernan going to be falling down into 8th place here, as we see Trisky and Mexico up in 6th and 7th here, quite far away. See Mexico waiting for Fernan and getting masked. That was a 100 billion IQ move.
Yeah, my 2 brain cells are at it again. Oh, that's unfortunate for Anton, kind of, but at the same time he does have super engines and this was right in front of the fast blue fire, so it's not like it's super detrimental, but he just gives up a position.
Yeah, for sure. We do see the top 3 is looking quite convincing at the moment for Colombia. They have 1 shield, it looks like, in 2nd. Unsure if 3rd place, and 1st place gets a shield as well.
Yeah, Pedro and Santi both have shields. We have no idea. Somebody actually 3rd place got hit, and they're gonna be passed up now.
Yeah, we see they get taken out by Shotzi here. Shotzi masking up. Shotzi trying to go for the 2nd item and doesn't get a jump out and loses fire because of it. That could be disastrous for him if Team Colombia catch up. Only getting passed up by Angel and Trisky at the moment.
Yeah, you can see Fernan and Audrey are there. Still a little bit behind, so I don't know if they're going to have enough time in this lap to catch up. But we shall see. As we
They've
also
gotten
know,
really
these tracks are really long, and there's usually a lot of time for a power item to come out on this track and a few of these other ones, and so far we haven't seen anything, and we're on lap 4, so I feel like soon.
Shotzi took out the shield of the Colombian there, and then they managed to have it missile to immediately take Shotzi out over the slow blue fire. He then gets team killed by Mexic, I believe, as Mexic was just trying to go fast to catch up to Fernan here. So we're seeing a bottom 2 for Mexico at the moment alongside 3-4, so this is not looking good for Mexico, as I believe this is like an 11-point win for Colombia roughly, 9 or 11.
Yeah, this is a win at the moment for Colombia, but I don't know for sure what the points are.
So you can see the top 2. Second has a shield, but even though Pedro doesn't, he is looking so safe with that distance. So top 2 is pretty much secured unless something drastic happens to Pedro here. Trisky up in 3rd place here, alongside Fernan actually going up into 4th. Angel seemed to have been taken out and has fallen down into 6th here.
And Shotzi's trying to catch up back to that 4th place spot for Nan.
I was going to take Audrey out, but Audrey masked as well, so didn't get taken out, and rolled a second mask and takes Shotzi out with it. So Shotzi managed to catch up and then get taken out again, as we see Fernan is actually, or Audrey, sorry, is really close to Angel now.
Also, yeah, I keep on mixing up Anton and Shotzi, but Anton kind of did some interesting tech there with Fernan having a blue shield. He was trying to do some slowdown with no item to take out the shield of Fernan. I'm not really sure what that was all about, but he ended up forfeiting that 4th position, and I think it's just gonna end up being the 4-5 like that. And okay, so Orb does come out. Not sure if Orb has an impact though, because
it didn't have an impact. It only took out Mexic there. So although Angel did manage to fall down into 7th place here, which is really bad for Team Mexico. So Mexico got 3 of the bottom 4 spots, only securing 3rd place up in the top 4. So this is going to be a massive win for Team Colombia here. We saw a really strong start here by Colombia this time. Going over the blue fire pad, I believe we saw 2 of the Mexican players taken out, with all of the Colombian players managing to advance. We saw one of our Colombian POVs with a bomb and managed to shoot the item off quickly enough to be able to take Mexic out before he could retaliate. And alongside that, Trisky also being taken out before he could take the cliffside shortcut. So Colombia getting the early top 4 break there. After that, we saw the top 2 in particular managed to run away. Mexico managed to take down 3 and 4 for a moment and managed to hold them back, only to have the top 2 run away, but then Colombia biting back and managing to let 3rd place be coming back up and securing at least 4th place for them. So Colombia getting back to 3 of the top 4 was a very strong show by them, especially since I think outside of that lap 5 orb, I don't think there were any power items that were actually used to sway the match.
I did not see any. At least in that race, I hadn't seen any. As we can see, yeah, that was an equalizer for Team Colombia. They won by the same margin that Mexico did, so now we're back to square one and what we were at after race 1, with Colombia 5 points ahead. And yeah, like I mentioned at the start of that race, that they all kind of went for the dice roll start from what we saw, and I guess Colombia just, won the dice roll and got the early lead. Because, I mean, there's some strategies you can use at the start of Prehistoric, which will, let you not have to deal with just, like, the early back spam. Like, literal, like I said, dice roll of who got a TNT or a boost canister and who got a bomb to, like, back bomb. But, yeah, everybody just went for it.
Yeah, it was interesting because if you do go wide there, because I know a lot of people will go for the widest crate there and then hug that wall on the right, you can get a mask, and getting a mask early here, especially if you can avoid your teammates who maybe they go around the cliffside shortcut, you can just take out all of the opposing team if you're close enough. And as we saw, when Colombia got the top 4 here, top 4 is so powerful early on in Prehistoric. It does leave you at the risk of power items since the other team do have all the bottom spots, but you can manage to generally get 1 or 2 of your team shielded up before that can happen, and then secure some top spots.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so Oxide Station coming in, another one of Colombia's picks.
This is not a track Mexico wants to go into at a point deficit because of just how good Colombia are in this track. So this is looking pretty scary for Mexico. Not to say they can't fight back here, but it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see Pedro going for the fast start. He was in the number 4 position, and he gets squished. He was in the middle of spiral attacking, but squish comes down on him. He's going to drop into 8th place. Meantime, Anton does get the early breakaway, with the closest one being Santi in 2nd place, who is kind of going wide for reserves, I'm guessing, and ends up getting squished.
Taken out.
And just barely makes the jump there.
Yeah, so we see Mexico actually has a semi-decent break given how early this is. He is not too far ahead of Audrey here, who's in 2nd place, with Pedro, our 3rd place POV, not too far behind. We see Santi waiting on Bluefire, trying to missile someone over the pad, but the missile might have connected. We see that the porter, which I'm pretty sure is Angel, has actually fallen quite far behind, but they do have fire, so they are going to be able to maintain that distance at the minimum.
Yeah, we see Pedro is kind of cycling through items already, just trying to probably get a shield, I guess, at this point. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, and we see that Shotzi had triple missiles and manages to take out Fernan there, who managed to block us one of the missiles with a bomb, but that wasn't enough as he gets taken out, and Shotzi moves up into 4th place, meaning Mexico have 1st and 4th of the top 4 here, and 5th place is Trisky, not too far behind, and Angel is catching up in 8th.
Yep.
4th place mask roll by Shotzi.
That's pretty big.
He can catch up to 3rd to Pedro, which is going to be a tough ask considering Pedro's strength on this track. But he could mask up and get a safe pass and combo here, and has protection from an orb, but technically not a clock from Colombia.
The biggest issue is that Shotzi doesn't have infinite reserves, so having not infinite reserves with the mask kind of hurts a lot on this track.
Yeah. He also just uses the mask instead just to get a bit more distance on the bottom 4, it seems. So he doesn't actually manage to catch up or take anyone out with that. He's closer to Pedro now, but Pedro being shielded alongside Mexico up the front means that Shotzi's probably not going to be able to catch up here.
Yeah, and Pedro also does have infinite reserves, so he doesn't need to be taking any sort of wider lines.
Shotzi has infinite now when he uses his engine, actually.
Okay, yep, and Santi does end up getting taken out by, I believe it was just a Nitro. So
yeah,
a little bit of a misplay there. Meantime, X-Canton is just never mind. He just gets taken out.
Well, so Mexic lost his shield, and so then he and Audrey trade at the top here. So we're going to see Pedro coming up into 1st. Mexic tries to take out
we
Pedro's
do have an
shield
orb coming, by the way. Yeah,
but it doesn't. He doesn't manage to do it. So all of Mexico get taken out, and Pedro gets the free run here. Trisky does still have fire, so he's going to be able to come up here and take up into 2nd here, as he's only passing his teammates. But we are going to be seeing if the bottom 3 can start catching up now. They do have a bit of a distance, so probably not going to be catching up to Mexic here, but we'll see what they can pull out here, as we see Fernan and Angel just been battling in the back this whole time.
Yeah, that if you take a look at where Pedro is on the minimap, is decent gap between him and 2nd place, so I don't see that being a change unless there's a big mistake.
And we see that Angel won the exchange between him and Fernan, so Fernan getting taken out in the spiral there as Angel runs away and is getting a bit of a distance to hold 7th at the moment, but really far away from 6th. Not sure if he's going to be getting any better spots right now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to take a look at like where 4th place is. Okay, so the difference between 4th and 5th place is still also kind of large, so I'm not really sure if we're going to see much movement throughout that, especially since we see 3rd and 4th place both have blue shields, and it is Santi and Audrey, I believe that is, who are in 5th and 6th. And we do have another orb that's coming out right now.
Angel does dodge, so he's going to be holding 7th place there. We'll see. I'm assuming that the 2 Colombians will dodge, given that this was an orb thrown by Fernan.
Yep, both of them have dodged, and we're going to see 4-3 obviously dodge as well.
So this orb is going to do nothing, it seems like. Trisky can get hit, but he might not get caught up to, and he doesn't get hit.
Doesn't
so
even
this
get
is
hit.
Just...
Pedro will get hit, though. Ahead.
He is on the line, though, so this isn't going to make a difference.
Yeah, he's still safe. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that orb did literally anything.
No, it just took everyone's
Pedro.
shields.
Yeah, it took shields and hit Pedro, which didn't even make him drop.
Yeah, so we see the a win for Mexico here, 2-3-4-7. So I believe that's a 3-point win overall. So only a small win, but they're probably pretty happy to have won against Colombia on a track that they're very strong on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we had a bit of an interesting start there. It was a bit ironic that we saw, I think, about 4 separate people manage to grab the spiral grind at the start there. Although Mexic being the only one on the POV that we saw not going for the spiral grind was the one that broke away, because it seemed like everyone else going tight was in the firing line of each other's items and just took each other out there. Mexic did have that lead, but then I believe it was Audrey who caught up and managed to take out Mexic's shield, which allowed that pass. Even though the two of them traded, it allowed Pedro, who had a shield, to pass up safely while the orb was coming. Mexic did try, it looks like, to swerve into Pedro to take the shield so that he could get hit when the orb passed, but unfortunately for Mexic, Pedro managed to dodge around Mexic and had protection for the orb, and dodging that orb after the trade meant that Pedro just had a home run and he just ran away for the rest of the race there. So, was a win in the end for Mexico, but only a small one here, so we see a 2-point difference after 4 races.
Yeah, with Colombia still holding it out with the 2-point lead going into race 5 here. This is ended up being a super close war, which is kind of what was expected. I mean, again, pretty much comes down to this war to figure out who goes against Saudi Arabia. Of course, I don't think, no, there's no way Colombia, wait, hang on, I had this all like written down at some point. I promise I actually had this information like ran through and figured out. Let's take a look. So if Mexico wins, it's Saudi Arabia versus USA. If Colombia wins by more than 20 points, then it's Saudi Arabia versus Colombia. And if Saudi Arabia or if Colombia wins by less than 18, then it's still Saudi Arabia versus USA. So Mexico does not play against Saudi Arabia because they've already played against them, though.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I can't remember exactly who's gone up against Finland here. We see, I believe that whichever one of Colombia, USA, it's either one of those or Mexico going up against Finland next week as well. Finland being our 2nd seed, I believe, right now.
Yeah, I can show you, or we could talk about it probably during halftime, but we do have Jungle Boogie coming in momentarily.
Thanks,
Huge.
Boogie. No one playing Hasty, though. I'm disappointed.
This is Colombia Boogie, dude. I'm sorry. Hanks doesn't get to claim this one. I don't know what to talk about with this track in general, dude. Like, there's just chaos. It's just chaos.
Period.
Yeah.
So we see Pedro goes wide here, gets the bomb on his teammate. He team kills Santi and then rolls a 5th place mask there. He misses Trisky, takes out Mexic. Shots he does have a shield here, likely going to be enough to protect him from an unjuiced mask.
Oh, so it might not have been, but Pedro ran out of fire instead, and then gets taken down by that beaker, and he's gonna go for that long-range bomb. It doesn't quite land, but currently, yeah, we do have Shotzi out in front with another green shield as well. Maybe trying to get that wumped up before using it, but they have an orb coming out instead. And
the orb doesn't seem like it actually did anything.
Yeah, it was an unjuiced orb, but I'm not really sure if anybody even got hit by it.
Yeah, I have a feeling Mexico had that orb and they used it because Shotzi put his shield on. Since it was unjuiced, they can just get rid of the item and start rolling masks again in the back.
Yeah,
rather
that is
than waiting
true.
for shields. So we see Pedro getting taken out here by Trisky. Tries to go for the squish here, but does miss. He can still try and take out Angel, who's now swapped to another Porter skin. Instead, Pedro hitting the Nitro on the shortcut, which allows Angel would have passed, but he gets taken out here by that back bomb. So we're seeing first, second, and then I believe like bottom 2 maybe for Mexico here. No, we see Mexico coming up in 4th now, actually.
Mexic's 4th. I'm not sure who that crashes, though. I guess it's Fernan. Okay. So yeah, 1, 2, 4...
And then we see 7, because Angel is the porter, so...
Okay, yeah.
A couple character changes here, as we see Pedro driving into that Nitro, unfortunately, at the turbo pad there. Not really good for Colombia there. So we are seeing a a strong lead, very strong lead by first place here. He has lost fire, but with that distance, it does not matter. Top 3 at the moment for Mexico, with 4th place Colombian trying their best to catch up alongside Pedro in 5th. Their best bet at the moment is to just hold Angel back and get him into 8th place here if they can.
Yeah, they want to really minimize the damage being dealt right now because this is a current top 3. Yeah.
Angel taking out Pedro there and coming up into 5th. This is a plus 17 at the moment if Angel manages to hold his position, but he does have Audrey right on his tail here.
Yeah, he's still gonna secure that 5th place. Holy, that is a huge win for Team Mexico.
Yeah, that is a massive win there. We see a 17-point difference there. That race in general was really chaotic, and I actually think it was pretty detrimental that Pedro's bomb, obviously not intentional, he did try to get the bomb here on the Mexican going to the right side after the shortcut, but manages to take out his teammate there. I think he took out Fernan. I cannot remember which one he team killed, but in doing that, it meant that the people that went tight for Colombia weren't actually able to catch up and try and take out the front runners for Mexico early, and that was really, really detrimental, as even though we saw the 4th place mask use by Pedro, because Shotzi was able to just go tight and get away, he was able to just get just out of range of the mask as Pedro's mask runs out and he hits a trap. So that allowed first place to just be stolen away there, as we saw Mexico going with a really good item play, taking out Colombia and going up into the almost top 4. Angel was hit into the back pretty early on and did a fantastic job of clawing his way back up into 5th. Actually, I feel
I do have a question if you
close.
remember this. Do you remember what place Chirisky was? Because the screenshot I took has him position glitched.
Chirisky is 2nd place.
Okay, got it. Cool, thanks.
So yeah, we saw, as I said, we saw Angel claw his way back up into 5th. Only 2 seconds behind Santi in the end. He may have been able to catch up if there was more time for him, but at the same time, Audrey really advanced on him hard there, so probably more lucky than anything for Angel that the race ended there so that he couldn't get caught up to and taken out by Audrey. But very good job by Team Mexico there to really put on a strong showing on both of Colombia's picks, actually. So yeah, we'll be going into the next race here, which is Tiny Arena. Tiny Arena is a track that I really favor Mexico on, because Mexico is very strong on this track. The amount of times I personally have warred them, and they just absolutely decimate the other team, going really strong with their item plays, especially at the start, but also they generally have really good coordination and be coming back early. So I do put this in their favor, but having said that, I put Colombia in favor of Oxide Station. So
yeah,
we saw how that went, and
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe commentator's curse. Maybe Mexico's going to get top 4 on Tiny Arena now. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I also would put this as, you know, Mexico favor, but I also would have put Oxide and Jungle Boogie on Colombia favor, and yeah, as we see, that did not work out.
I think you cursed Colombia. You said it's Colombia Boogie, and then this happened. I think it was just being proven wrong, Dashy.
I guess. Here we go. We're gonna go into Tiny Arena. Get snuggled in and get your blankets, your coffee,
yeah.
etc.
Pedro getting the squish on Mexic and Angel here early on. Infinite can be really good on this track, because as much as you can get a lot of reserves from drop boosts and whatnot, you can make so many item plays if you've got... Never mind, he doesn't have Infinite anymore. He tries to missile Angel and drives into the wall instead. That's really unfortunate mistake by Pedro there. They could have had a really strong start if they took Angel out. Mexic with the low place mask. He is a little far away and he doesn't have...
Santi on a killing spree, by the way, taking out Shotzi, and I believe that bomb might have hit on Chirisky. I might be wrong though, but apparently have a Tom 3 coming for Colombia as never mind, Santi ends up getting taken out by
alongside Pedro. And so, yeah, Mexic zooming up into 3rd with his mask actually gets a nice breakaway from the back of the pack there. Oh, and he gets missiled. The missile followed him around the spiral. That's really unfortunate for Mexic as his mask ran out. Top 2 for Colombia, running away with this at the moment. We're seeing... I
can hear the frustration right now for Pedro. He is only rolling boost items as he's trying to catch up to Chirisky, who's literally right in front of him. Just anything other than boost canisters. There it is again.
I know, he's not getting it.
Me, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, we don't have really any eyes on our top 3 positions at the moment, and we do see Angel from the POV of Mexicanton. But
so Angel doesn't have a shield. We see Mexic and Shotzi with shields here. So we're seeing two of the top places for Mexico having a shield. So if we see Trisky rolling a power item in 8th place here, this could be really strong for... Oh, Shotzi doesn't actually have a shield, and he takes out Santi's shield here instead. So Mexic is protected here, but we'll see what happens moving up, because top 2 are really far away, and even with an orb, that might not be enough.
Watch for them. Santi taking out Chauncey. He's gonna go for a combo. He
does.
The
combo.
We move
Pedro barely missing the combo there.
Yeah.
So Mexico now bottom 2 on Tiny Arena here. I think, yeah, I did curse them. This is not Mexico Arena today.
Jesus. Yeah, we can see in those top 2 positions as well. It's the classic Tiny Arena, gameplay of top 1 or 2 players are just gone. I mean, they're not exactly. They're not like absolutely gone, but it's gonna be hard to make that distance up.
Yeah, and we see the clock from Shotzi. A clock can be incredibly powerful here. As he uses the clock, let's see if it doesn't take out any of the top players, so this doesn't change anything except for the bottom. Santi getting taken out. Pedro hitting the hairpin there. Santi getting stuck on the heels there, because the heels can be so difficult to get around when you've got been clocked. So Santi falling all the way down into 8th place here by a little bit of a gap. Shotzi catching all the way up to Pedro, and he gets a mask. Is he going to take out Pedro here? He does.
Yeah, and Pedro's just kind of defenseless right now. That hairpin bluff up really screwed him there. So he's falling all the way down into the bottom spots. He's got to avoid Santi, make sure he doesn't take out his teammate. But they're just going to be trading masks at the moment.
So it was really good in the bottom spots for Mexico in the fact that they managed to swap from bottom 2 and then put Colombia in bottom 2 because of that clock. However, we do see it didn't affect anyone in the top 4, so this means that they still have an uphill battle to try and catch. I'd say Angel is catching up, but that is a massive gap, and there's no way he's making that up in one lap unless it's a massive mistake. And Santi does have an orb, so this is looking even less likely in the favor of Mexico, as they can counter if Mexico throw their own power item.
Yeah, and of course, as the way that the item cooldowns work, I didn't even see that nitro that the Santi hit. But basically, after Santi rolls that orb, that means there's like a 25-second cooldown that Mexico can't roll a power item. So
yeah. So, unless, as we saw in the Italy-Germany match, they roll
roll at the same time. Pedro holding a mask and running right into a red beaker instead.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for him, as he's now really far behind. And like you said, does it only have a canister and hits another red beaker? Oh, that's so bad for Pedro here. He's really out of this race now.
Yeah, at this rate, I think we did get the other orb. We can do some damage with this. We have 2 juiced orbs at the moment. Santi ends up throwing his, but the thing is, okay, so the next one comes out, and Santi does roll a mask to dodge that. Are we going to see any movement? Maybe.
Oh, Shotzi rolls a mask to dodge the orb, so he's not going to be affected. Looks like it does take out Trisky. Is it going to be enough to let Santi come up with a double mask here to try and steal the position from Trisky? It's going to look really close here. Angel is catching 2nd place, but I don't think it'll be enough here, considering how close to the line they are, and it's not. Looking like Trisky's on top of Santi.
Santi is doing the Megumi tech onto Trisky. Messes up a little bit. Doesn't get the
cooldown. Oh no, and Trisky gets the mask! Trisky taking out Santi instead. The roles have been reversed, so we see that Trisky is coming up into 7th here, likely going to be holding 6th depending on the desync. And
Trisky
no, Pedro
tried
does
to do some slowdown to try to take out Pedro, but Pedro had already had a mask. So Pedro does actually secure that 6th place.
So yeah, we saw that was an incredibly clutch lap 5 there. Santi did try for the I've got triple missiles, I'm going to be taking out Trisky 3 times, which will allow Pedro to come all the way up and then pass, and we can make sure Trisky gets last. However, we did see that Trisky managed to mash circle and put his mask on quick enough to defend himself from the last missile, and then he was able to hit the Colombian there as he ran away. Pedro coming right up there, Santi in the back defenseless, so Pedro really wanted to get the hit off, but because of the mask, they both just went to try and get to the finish first. And as we saw with the slowdown from Trisky, they're trying to take Pedro out. It allowed Pedro to get that 6th place. So that was a very intense lap 5 there. We did see not too much movement from the top 4. As Dashy pointed out earlier, typical Tiny Arena moment where we saw, especially the top 2, early on breaking away and the clock doing nothing as they had shields. Same for the 3rd and 4th, they had their own breakaway. And then when we saw the final power item, Angel looked like he had a chance of catching up. If he had a missile on that final straight, he might have been able to combo second place and take them out. But we didn't see that, as the top 2 was secured for Colombia, as they win by 5 points in this race.
Yeah, so Colombia putting a little dent into the deficit that they have. But they still do have their work cut out from them. It's only 10 points, but there's only 4 races left. So it's still could go either which way here. It's definitely a close war. But we're going into the loading screen right now of Android Alley, another one of Mexico's picks.
Alright, so this is where we grab our pillows, boys. So
yeah, if you didn't
Android
think
Alley...
Tiny Arena was boring enough, get ready for the sequel.
Bedtime Racing 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully we're gonna be seeing some good action here. I have been proven wrong in this World Cup where we've been seeing some very tumultuous Android Alley races, but it is unfortunately a track where quite often you do see the no movement happening after like lap 3, where everyone just kind of time trials Coco Park but with more turns.
Yeah, for sure. But done with the loading screen already. Let's see what we end up getting. Most of our interesting stuff happens within the first 30 seconds. Let's see how it goes.
Alright, and we do have a little guest jumping in here. Rare has just joined us for these last few races, so we've got a extra commentator on the bench here for to end this hype match.
I will once again ask a new phone who this.
I'm still in my work clothes. I was literally rushing to like get set up. So
nice. Okay. So Android Alley. Getting started, we have
Audrey had a mask, it looked like, and took out so many of the opposition there, getting a really strong start. We're seeing a top 2 at the moment for Team Colombia. Shelty not too far behind, and looking like Pedro in 4th though, and Santi in 5th. So Shelty's really in a Colombian sandwich here. Gonna see if they can take him out here. He's really on the back foot, gonna try and hold this, but we see missiles from Pedro, triple missiles. Oh, but one of them chimps. So we'll see if Shotzi can chimp the other 2 missiles here from Pedro as he holds his shield. Santi getting taken out by a mask there, falling down into 8th. As Shotzi gets taken out here by Pedro. Top 3 for Colombia.
Yeah, still holding on to those top spots for them.
Santi Pulswood.
Oh, Santi do be gaming.
Gaming?
Will he be able to hold it through this area? This is a hard area to hold the speed, and he does seem to do it pretty well. Yeah,
pretty good.
That was pretty decent, actually. So he manages to come up into 7th here, passing up Trisky, who's in 8th place here. Gets another engine, but not really the best place to use it here. Goes for the squish on Angel, but instead does whatever that was.
My last 2 brain cells are once again...
They're back.
Oh, he's dead.
Angel countering with a mask here, taking Santi out. So Santi's really far behind now. Angel himself is actually... That did cost Angel a lot of time, so he's going to have a rough time coming back too. We see Mexic loses his shield here. Is he going to pulseward? No, he's actually just going to keep his fire here, which is understandable, but he could have potentially used that to try and catch up to top 3 here, who have a bit of a break.
I think he would have gotten bombed, actually, if he did, looking at that.
Yeah, true.
But
so top 3
top
still looking very strong.
Solid, yeah. Pedro, if you want to take a look, Pedro is the one that's kind of defending the front line, having triple juice bombs, ends up hitting the bomb onto Mexicanton.
So now Shotzi's going to be passing with his shield into 4th, so he has protection from a bomb here, but we do see Pedro still doesn't have a shield. So
Pedro, oh my god.
Gets a bomb on Mexic, I believe, yeah. That was a really long-range bomb hit on Mexic, just griefing poor Mexic there.
That's not griefing, we've seen griefing. So we see Mexic falling quite far behind there. He's only passed up by Trisky, but Santi's not too far behind, actually, with a mask here. So he does get another engine, but he can't use it while his mask's on here. So we'll see what ends up happening from here. Yeah. Oh, and Mexic goes wide here and gets taken out by Santi's mask there. Take a look at the minimap. If that's something visible, like you can see this massive gap now between Pedro and 4th place.
It's really just up to Santi right now.
Yeah, Santi is kind of making the deciding factor of how much Colombia wins, but pretty decided at this point.
He hits a nitro. So the only hope that Mexico have now is that Mexic rolls something in 8th place here, looking like he's just going to try and defend 7th there and try and take it back from Santi, but He's trying to get the missile hits on, and he does manage to connect it there. Goes for the combo there, but he's missed some vital item rolls here, which could help his top place teammates.
Yeah, Santi's just gonna toss away these missiles and try to see if he can grab something. He does end up getting a mask, but he doesn't have it juiced up, so only gonna do a little bit here. Gonna try to catch up to Anton, who decides to. I think he tried pulse switching, but it was
no, his engine ran out. He just had 2 engines and just regularly ran.
Okay,
but we do see that the rest of the pack, like, it's been a bit of a pillow fest. We see the top 3 kind of did their own thing after Pedro annihilated Mexic there, and then we saw another pack of Mexicans there: Shotzi, Angel, Trisky, and 456, just in their own little group there. They were just having a couple little tea parties there, having a bit of a goss. So we see 1, 2, 3, and potentially 8th here for Colombia. That's going to be an 11-point gap, which is going to bring it to a 1
point ahead of Team Mexico after this. Holy shit, we're going to really make this close, huh?
So this is a really intense matchup. For anyone unaware, like, these two teams, very close, play with each other very often. So both teams know the ins and outs of each other's strategies, track picks, strengths, weaknesses, and you can really see it here as we're seeing such an incredibly close match between these two exceptionally strong teams. So yeah, really interesting one there, as we saw Pedro doing a fantastic job of holding back the Mexicans coming up from 4th. So Mexic was somewhat close and potentially could have gotten some long-range missiles depending on the tracking there, but Pedro says, not today, brother, and then gets a nice bomb, and then a second bomb on Mexic as he rounds the corner before the shortcut. So really good job by Pedro there. Didn't really manage to roll a shield to defend himself from power items, but we never saw any on Android Alley, so Pedro was luckily safe from them, as he was able to safely use his bombs to try and channel his rare and get some god bombs off on Mexic. So yeah, we're going to be seeing a 1-point lead for Colombia here, 137 to 136, as we're going into race 8. So only 3 races left. This is a incredibly tight match here.
Yeah, and we're going to be moving into a couple of the short tracks picked by Colombia as well. Not that we've seen too much of a difference being made on who picks what tracks, because Mexico just lost on their 2 picks, and Colombia lost on their previous 2 picks, so...
Oh man, that's not Colombia Boogie.
It's not,
yeah.
apparently.
Not the one I know.
Right? That's what I said. I'm like, this is Colombia Boogie, dude. And then next thing you know, they get almost top forward.
This is what you get for challenging Hank's Boogie. Hank's just realized, he's like, no, I'm not taking this. This is my track. And he cursed Colombia, so...
Jesus.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the moose.
But yeah, so we're gonna move into Barin Ruins. I don't really have too many good things to say about Barin Ruins. I think it's kind of just fucking boring. I also don't really like the how front runner heavy it kind of is, because there's a lot of blind corners. And then of course, like, the shortcut at the end is just like a front runner's wet dream.
Yeah, the also the shortcut, it may not in itself save much time, but as easily as it is trapped, the big thing about it is that if someone gets hit in that final tunnel, they can't get fire back if you trap it, and they're forced to go around, and then you can just get that further breakaway after hitting someone. So
yeah,
as you say, very front runner heavy, and we'll see how this turns out here, as we see most of our POVs going fairly tight here. Fernand getting taken out early by a beaker twice, and Trisky ignoring that beaker I saw. That was very interesting.
Both of them ignored their beaker hits. That was okay then.
Pedro gets a mask here. Is he going to take anyone out? Takes out Mexic, takes out Shotzi. Runs all the way up into first here. Well, so Pedro all the way up in first now. Trisky not too far behind, with Audrey following up in third. Mexic in 4th here. Looks like Trisky gets taken out. Oh, so we've got top 2. Yeah, top 2 for Colombia at the moment. Very strong start by them. Wampa is blocked, so Mexic can't get juiced bombs.
Ooh, Pedro goes a little bit too tight, loses fire, but he does pull a green shield at the very least, so he might have a little bit of a 1-0 defense against the 3rd place Shotzi that is... Wait, 3rd place Shotzi? They're like neck
Shotzi and Trisky on top of each other, so we'll see what they can do here.
He's got a little bit of defense. He does lose it to a TNT, but he ends up getting a blue shield right back. So we also still do see Santi is kind of battling it out in the back here with Angel.
Trisky got hit by a red beaker, so he fell behind here, so now it's really up to Shotzi
Santi
here.
Pulls a juiced clock.
And we see a green shield from both Mexic and Shotzi. If Santi waits too long,
Pedro.
they're going to be getting dodges, and then they're going to be able to safely dodge this clock. Shotzi using his shield green. Is Mexic going to get the Wampa here? He does. Mexic is now safe from this clock, while Shotzi is not.
Yeah, they've
Pedro
got to
also
try to coordinate because there's the top two do not look protected.
No, so if they use the clock here, then we'll be seeing Mexic zooming up into first potentially. So it's a bit of a waiting game with Shotzi having the most likely chance to get a shield here. That's not looking good for Colombia.
Looks like he's going for the Swid.
Yeah, Shotzi going for Pulsewood here, going to catch up to top two here. How much is he going to be able to do with damage? Gets really close, but not close enough. So he's really close behind Pedro
And
now.
Pedro
Pedro
ends
going
up
for the
hitting
bomb
that
and
jack
lands
bomb.
it.
It takes him out over the gap as well. So it's going to
And
lose him
takes
a
out
decent amount of
Mexic's
time.
shield.
Oh, and Pedro ends up rolling into that red beaker, or ends up coming out,
Yeah.
and the clock's going to
And
be
the
used
clock-
in retaliation.
The clock being used as soon as first place got hit by the orb so that they're free. So Angel actually dodged everything, it looks like, and has come up into second. He's going to do his best to make an advance here. Likely won't catch first, but can do his best to take out the opposition. Pedro getting taken out by a Nitro there on that final turn.
Pedro is just getting bullied right now. He's going to be dropping all the way back.
Mexic getting his revenge for Android Alley. So Pedro dropping all the way down into 7th. Bottom 2 for Colombia right now, as we see that... Angel getting taken out there. Oh no, that was just a
he's
fake
still
hit
going.
there. Yeah, so we see that top 2 are pretty safe at the moment, with Santi in 3rd. Trisky getting taken out, so looking like 3rd is feeling pretty comfortable, unless Angel can get this bomb, and he does!
He does.
Is Mexic going to be able to get the pass here? Santi with no item here, so Mexic is able to just pass up all well and dandy here, so we're seeing 2-3 from Mexico.
Yeah, I don't think Santi's got a green shield on, so he should be able to secure the 4th place, and Pedro 5th. But yeah, 2-3, 6-7.
So that is a win for Colombia, but only minor, I believe. That should be
+1, I believe.
+1
Yes.
for Colombia. So that's a 2-point difference with only 2 races left.
Watching Pedro, he was just hitting all the tight traps.
Yeah. Really trying to catch up there, but with all the tight traps, as you said, he was just getting ended there. And then we had that one lap where Mexic was like, I saw what you did to me on Alley, and just took Pedro out multiple times there, so causing Pedro to fall a little behind there. But something interesting I'm curious at is, as we've mentioned, Colombia need to win by 20 or more to be able to go up against Saudi Arabia and be seeded higher next week. But I am curious whether that's something that Colombia want if they determine that the alternate opponents instead of Saudi Arabia are weaker, so to speak, compared to them, at least compared to what they're comfortable racing against. If they feel that the alternate opponents are going to be an easier time for them, maybe they're going to be wanting to win by less than 20, so they get the win point, but they don't have to go up against Saudi Arabia, who have in this competition just absolutely annihilated everyone and done incredibly well. So
Yeah,
maybe
let me take a look real quick. So if Colombia wins by more than 20, like I said, they play against Saudi Arabia. If they win by less than 20, though, Colombia will play against France,
I believe, and then America plays
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, USA has like a 60% chance of playing, or like 2 out of the 3 outcomes here involve USA playing in Saudi Arabia.
Should be a great time.
So it can technically be up to Colombia to determine whether do we want to face France or do we want to face Saudi Arabia, because as much as they'd be seeded higher next week going up against Saudi, if they get absolutely rolled by Saudi Arabia, then that's going to push them down lower compared to winning by a small margin going up against France and doing better.
Oh wait, no, never mind. I was about to say, I also want to mention if Mexico ends up winning, Colombia ends up playing against Italy, but that is not true because that was only if Poland wins. So with Poland not winning, Italy would play against Team Chile, and I don't have a clue who like Colombia actually plays against in that breakdown. So bear with me.
Yeah, so interesting decision making by Colombia there. We'd likely be seeing that kind of thinking in the final race, depending on what the point difference is.
That's who they'd be playing against.
Okay, well, nice. So we'll see how how Colombia end up tackling these next 2 races. All right, let's see if anyone turns around at the start. No one turning around at the start. My poor little heart's been broken in 2 here. So we're seeing most people going pretty fast here, going a little wide at the first items. We see Pedro with an early juiced engine here. Is he going to be able to get a strong pulse with to catch up to top 2, which is Angel and Shotzi here? Shotzi's going to roll a shield here. He can get the shield tackle potentially. Let's see what he can do. As Pedro gets a shield, that's a really powerful combo. But he loses the pulse with
he kind of messed it up at the end.
Yeah, he had an acceleration input with the engine active midair, which caused him to lose all speed there, unfortunately. He does pulse it through the grass and is pretty close to top 2, but close isn't good enough when you've got a beaker under your shield.
Oh,
and
the
Shotzi
clock
does
come out.
That's a clock.
And Angel took down the shield just in time for the clock to be able to hit. Mexic coming up into second here. He's going to be coming up with his teammates there. Didn't manage to get the hit on Pedro, but Pedro's going to be missiled here. So Pedro going to be losing 4th, and now we see Fernand coming up into 5th, and it's looking like Trisky's down in 8th place at the moment. So we're seeing a top 3 and 8th at the moment for Mexico. As looks like Trisky gets a mask and takes out Pedro here.
Santi's gonna
zooming.
He do be zooming. He does end up getting taken out. Yeah, and he ends up getting
another engine though.
Ooh.
And we see Colombia just getting decimated here. Top 4 at the moment for Mexico. Angel does get taken out though. Santi losing his engine, and because he hit a red beaker, the next engine he used will be bugged and he won't be able to pulse with.
And of course he pulls it. That's kind of unfortunate for him.
So now he's just going to be stuck using Blue Fire here as he tries to go and use these masks to catch up here. But we do see that I believe Audrey has taken up into the top 4 here. Angel in 4th. Trisky's just been comboed to death. Now in 8th place. We'll see if Trisky can get an engine to catch back up. 3rd place being taken out by Angel here. Angel coming back up into 4th as Pedro's in 3rd with a shield. Shield gets taken out by Angel. Angel being
Santi
missiled by
does
Santi.
actually get the takedown on Angel, yeah. Our top 2 is pretty secured at the moment. If you want to see any potential trades, you'd have to look at Pedro, but that is a huge gap. They're definitely not going to trade anything there.
And Trisky coming through the mask, taking out Santi. Santi then getting missiled. Is his missile going to catch Trisky? It is not. Looking like the 3 Colombians in the tight-knit pack are going to hold their positions here, but we are seeing 1, 2, 6, and 7 most likely from Mexico here.
Yeah, I think Santi's.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Santi's definitely locking in 8th.
So yeah, that's looking like roughly a plus 9 or some. Roughly, I think. I'm not 100% sure on the final positions there, but I think it's somewhere between plus 5 and plus 9. I didn't catch exactly where Trisky placed.
Trisky placed 6th.
Yeah.
6th. So yeah, I believe that would be a
7.
Yeah.
I believe it's 7. Yeah.
So yeah, we're seeing looks like that means the lead swings back into Mexico's favor regardless of the point difference there. So going into the final race, it's going to be a single-digit lead by Mexico here. We saw some really strong pulse widths there getting ended. The top 2 not actually zooming, managed to just break away with sheer item play alone. Unfortunately for Santi, he did have a chance to come back with that second engine he rolled, but then he hit the red beaker and rolled a 3rd engine, which then bugged, so he couldn't actually pulse it back up to the top there, which allowed him to be caught up to by Trisky and taken out.
Yeah, and
we
do have a 5-point lead coming into this last race for Team Mexico. So that also does mean no matter what USA is playing against, you guys are playing Saudi Arabia.
Yay! So much fun.
Because no matter what, even if they top 4 here at this point, you can't get that number gap.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing potentially France opponents for Colombia, particularly if they win here. So we'll see how this turns out going into the final race being Assembly Lane. This is a pick by Mexico, but I feel like we should stop favoring teams on their picks because, like, look at this
It's
list.
It's not working out too well, yeah.
They've just been picking for each other, it feels like.
Yeah. We are going into the loading screen of our final race again. So basically, Rare, you seem to know the numbers off the top of your head a little bit better. What does Colombia need to take this one back?
Okay, so they need a top 2.
I feel like they need at least 5 points.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 6, 8 would be a 5-point win for Colombia, so that would be a tie. So anything better than that would be would be enough. Otherwise, if they get 2, 3, 4, I think 2, 3, 4, 6, that is also a plus 5. So we'll be seeing they need roughly those positions. So they can afford to lose first, but only if they keep pretty much every other top position. So we'll see what they can do here on the final track going into assembly lane, or if Mexico can use their strong item plays here to hold back Colombia and secure the win.
Yeah, see, nobody really going super tight here at the start. Pedro ends up missing the item box. Santi ends up getting taken out.
Alongside Shotzi.
Angel's in mask as well.
Angel is in mask, and he is going to get a kill onto
He does take out
Yeah,
Fernand.
Fernand's.
So this is top 2 for Mexico, with Pedro right behind here with an engine. He
And
gets beaked though. So Mexic Angel, the dream duo, running away with top 2 at the moment.
Angel
got
not a dream duo. He falls off.
I think he got smushed by this,
by the conveyor belt squisher things.
The stamper.
Yeah. So Mexicanton is going to be trying to running away a little bit here. He's got a juice bomb. He's probably going to use this on this long straightaway here at the front. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Pedro hitting the beaker on the shortcut, falling down.
Yeah, and Anton's bomb did not connect.
No.
He's got another one though.
He's got to be careful not to take out Trisky, who's right behind Audrey there.
Shotzi.
And we see Pedro getting an engine.
Oh yeah. Pedro ends up getting an engine, so infinite reserves. Shotzi
and so we see
is trying to move through this pack here. Goes up in the
Trisky got taken out, falls right down to a low spot there into 6th with Angel in 5th. So we're seeing a bit of a pack from Mexico, 4, 5, 6 there. 2, 3 being held by Colombia, with 3rd place having a shield in Santi.
Oh, that Nitro I think ended up hitting Angel? I'm not quite sure. From shots.
Audrey
got
taken out by something.
There.
Red beaker.
And Santi's going to try to get a hit onto Shotzi. Actually, he doesn't even need to. Audrey gets to take him out. And he's going to get comboed here.
Yeah, so Angel's catching up to, and does take out Audrey here. So Angel moves up into 3rd place here. Shotzi does have a juiced bomb here if he can try and take someone out there. Looks like it's through a Nitro Flash. Fernand gets taken out, comboed by Shotzi here. So that means we're seeing 7th, now 8th place by Colombia as Trisky moves up into 7th. Desync Beaker onto Shotzi there, but by the magnet. Really unfortunate for him as he's going to be caught up to.
Yeah, we've got Angel is packed between Pedro and our 2 Colombian POVs, Pedro and Santi. See if maybe something ends up happening between those 2, as Pedro has 3 juice bombs. He's going to kind of try to go wide here to maybe get it back. Or not Pedro, Santi has 3 juice bombs. Doesn't look like he gets a hit.
Santi did have a shield, tried to jump over a Nitro in the shortcut and barely missed, so unfortunately lost his shield, but he does get the bomb on Angel as a reward.
Yeah. And so now Pedro does get the overtake.
And Shotzi gets an orb. Shotzi has an orb.
Oh, Santi gets Nitro.
Santi gets Nitroed there, so Mexic doesn't have a shield, but he's so far ahead that they don't really have to consider Mexic at the moment. They just have to see if Trisky and Angel can get dodges here. So we do see Santi with the green shield, so he's going to be able to dodge this orb, provided he doesn't hit another trap here. Let's see what Shotzi can do with this orb.
I'm not sure if this orb is going to be very helpful at the moment.
Yeah, especially with Santi having a shield.
Yeah, the only one that looks like they'd be even possible to catch is maybe Fernand. Never mind. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, this is not good timing for this orb.
They throw the orb here. Looks like
Audrey dodged.
And Trisky does not. That's actually detrimental. Oh, but Fernand doesn't dodge, but it looks like Audrey passes up Trisky here. That's really, really bad for Mexico there. That was actually a detrimental orb overall.
Depending on what happens, they might have just given them the win.
This is a +7 now. It was a +5. But because of that orb, it's +7. This means it's not going to be a tie going into a tiebreaker race. This means that Colombia can win. Shotzi with the mask, is he going to be able to catch up and secure 5th place here from Audrey, but not looking possible with this gap.
So Mexicanton's gonna try to hang out, see if he can. I don't know why. Oh, he's just hanging out to try to give his team more time.
He's stalling the timer.
Yeah, he's just stalling.
I was about to say,
God bomb! Is he gonna get the bomb? He doesn't. Oh, but he hits the Nitro.
They both hit a Nitro.
And he gets the combo.
No.
Shotzi actually gets past. This is going to be a win for Mexico now. Shotzi getting 4th place here secures the win for Mexico.
Okay, so yeah, it's a 1, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 8. Okay, hang on.
1, 4, 5, 8. So that really unfortunate Nitro for Colombia. Not just taking out one, but taking out both Audrey and Fernand there. I believe it was. Both being taken out by that Nitro allowed Shotzi to catch up and combo. They had the +7 they needed, exactly what they needed to get the +2 win, but unfortunately for them, that Nitro took them out, and Mexico stole the win at the end there with Shotzi's very nice combo.
I wonder if that was just like a forgotten call out or something, because they had their teammates right in front of them. So
yeah, so that is really unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely clutch finish there.
Very close.
So that orb looked like it was going to spell the end of Mexico there. Looking like they just handed the win to Colombia on a silver platter, but that Nitro was really well placed. But as you pointed out, and as Chatter said, the top 2 POVs did dodge the Nitro, so a bit unfortunate that the other Colombians managed to hit it there. And not just one of them hitting it, but 2. So even if one of them dodged, the other one took their teammate out.
Yeah, there you go. That actually so that ended up being a 1-point win for Mexico, actually.
Yeah.
So they do end up clinching out that win. That is a really close match.
So we see 198 for Mexico, 192 for Colombia, 6-point win overall for Mexico. Incredibly close matches. We saw the points go back and forth as they kept winning on each other's tracks. The point difference extending out a little bit towards the end by one team there, but it did get brought back all the way down to a 6-point difference. So incredibly tight match, and GG's to both teams, playing exceptional there. So some very fantastic plays from both teams there, but we are going to be seeing Mexico take the win here, securing the end of this week of seeding.
Yeah, and actually now I don't have control of the board, but we can try to copy it and we can take a look.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. You guys can converse about the match in the meantime.
Yeah, so I think that assembly lane in particular, obviously being the main race we haven't talked about here, it was very clutch in the end. I think I'm curious on the orb throw we saw there. I'm wondering because Trisky got hit, but Audrey did not, and both of them were on top of each other. You would think that if Audrey had a dodge shot, Trisky would have been able to let them know, but I'm wondering whether Audrey maybe held a mask, Trisky losing his dodge at the last second, something really unfortunate like that, which is perfectly possible. He could have hit something in the shortcut and lost his shield, but it was a bit of a scary moment for Mexico. It is unknown whether they knew that Colombia were handed winning positions with that orb, but yeah, that ending there was absolutely clutch. We saw some really tight moments in this match. Coco Park being another one there with the unfortunate pulse was not working for Santi, and the fantastic item plays from the top 2 on that track holding their positions there. So overall, a very tight wall with some very fun item plays going on. So
alrighty, so here we go. This is our current standings after that last race. And like I said, so since Saudi Arabia has already played against Mexico, they've already played against Finland. They're going to play against the United States instead. So the next match will be Saudi, US. Then I believe Mexico and Finland, I think, haven't played each other yet. Let's take a look.
They have not. They have not. I just checked.
Yeah, so they have not played against each other. So Mexico and Finland will be playing against each other. Then Germany and France will be playing against each other. And then Chile and Italy will be playing against each other. Then it'll be Colombia and Japan. I think Costa Rica and Argentina have not played against each other.
Costa Rica, Argentina have not played against each other.
Okay, so then Spain and Great Britain also haven't, if I remember right.
Yep.
Okay, and then Peru and Latin America.
Peru and Australia, I think it is.
Yeah, I think
it'll
be
Peru and Latin
Australia,
America,
and then Latin America and Poland.
Yes.
So that will be your matchups.
So yeah, we're going to be seeing some really tight ones here. Looking at the results after this, pretty much any team can shift positions. Saudi Arabia, as we've said, it's going to take a lot to pull them out of the top seed there.
It's literally not possible, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
They're so far ahead in points.
Mexico, okay, yeah. I guess if technically, even if they would get the tiebreak point.
Oh, very true. They did play against Mexico.
Them, so they've
there's no way.
Is true. That is true. So you're right.
Saudi Arabia is basically. This is what we were talking about. Saudi Arabia is locked in first seed, and Australia is pretty much locked in last seed, no matter what.
I don't think there is a way Australia can get out of elimination territory, is there? They've got such a large point deficit and no tiebreaker points that I don't think they can. And they've lost to every team except Peru in those bottom places. So I don't think Australia can get out of the bottom here. It's really up to we've got Poland, Latin America, Peru on the chopping block primarily, I would say. Depending on how these matchups go, we'll be seeing who is our second up eliminated here before group stages.
Is this just like an automatic fill-in thing? How do I fucking... Okay, never mind. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. Like, wait, maybe it is. Hang on. If I just type in KSA, does that work? Oh, it does! Let's go! I can do this!
Nice.
Let's go! USA!
Nice.
And what's the next one we said? Mexico and Germany? Mexico and Finland.
Yes.
So this is tentative, I could be wrong, but this is going to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we're looking at. And that's going to be Germany and France.
Mm-hmm. Chile and Italy, I believe, is next after this. And then did we say Colombia, Japan?
Yep, Colombia
Yes.
top, and then there's Cole.
Alright, and then looking like Costa Rica, Argentina as our next potential match. And then we'll be seeing Spain versus Great Britain and Ireland.
Esp.
And then Peru versus Australia. And then the final match, of course, being Latin America versus Poland.
There you go. That's tentative. Could be wrong, but I do believe that this is what we're going to have for next week.
So, provided these are accurate, and we're not all just Mongols on the commentary bench, we're going to be seeing some really, really close matches here. So, as we saw, particularly those top three, I think are really interesting to watch here. I'm really excited for KSA versus USA, Mexico versus Finland, and Germany versus France here. I think are going to be the matches to watch here.
Yeah, those definitely be interesting. Not to sound like an asshole, but I don't think this one's going to be a super interesting match.
No, I agree with you 100%, man.
This one could be good though.
Colombia versus Japan is going to be a fun one to watch, in my opinion. That's another one I'm keeping my eyes on. I am curious to see Latin America versus Poland as well. I think that one could go either way.
I think so too. Yeah, that could be close.
Like, I think the other matches, Costa Rica versus Argentina is definitely in Argentina's favor, in my opinion. I think Great Britain, Ireland have the advantage on their match, and Peru have a big advantage on their match as well.
Yeah, that's kind of how I would weight this as, no offense to y'all, but I'm putting a win on KSA. I'm thinking a win for Finland. Fuck, I don't fucking know, dude. Do I betray my homeland, or do I
that one I can't decide. I feel like that could go either way.
Genuinely hard.
Germany's been popping off this year.
Germany has been playing super well, but I don't know for sure what's going to go on with their lineup. Because Katsu, to my understanding, is taking a break. So Katsu's not going to be playing.
So that could be to their detriment for Germany, as he is a very strong player. So that might be just what France need to secure the win here. So
this one's a toss-up. I'm not even gonna say like for sure. So I'm gonna put that one down for Italy. This one
I can't say either. Like I want to say that Colombia have a slight edge here, but I think it's really close.
Topa, I don't think, has been playing with Team Japan. I think if Topa played with Team Japan, it'd be a lot less decisive, because I think Topa is extremely strong.
Yeah, and Argentina definitely for this one, and Great Britain, Ireland. I don't think it's going to be a landslide, but I think they have the edge there.
This one's hard
America,
too.
Poland, that one could go either way. Poland have some great players this year. Five being an insane front runner, and then they've got people like Yane who are really great in the back. So, not to say Latin America don't have their own powerhouses and players such as Dong, Killer, for example. So, I really can't decide this one either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna probably give it to... Fuck. I was gonna say I'm probably gonna give it to Poland, but it's really close.
It's hard.
I feel like this match is incredibly lineup dependent. I think if one team brings their top lineup and another team's missing just one of their top, I think that could be the deciding factor here.
These are my predictions.
Yeah.
I'm locking this one in. I don't care. How do tiebreak points work? So tiebreak points work in that, so like in this case, let's find some ones that have tiebreaks. Okay, so there's all of these teams have 2 wins, 2 losses. So of these that have 2 wins, 2 losses, you would compare and say, okay, France has played against, which ones did they play against already? These 2, I think? Costa Rica and Argentina? I know they played against Costa Rica.
Let's see who they played against. They played against Costa Rica. They played against Chile. If Chile's in there as well.
Oh, yeah, Chile's in there.
Yes.
So they played against this team and this team and won. So they get 2 tiebreak points. Chile has played against. I'm just sitting here, fucking ... I don't fucking remember. So
Chile played
Italy,
against Spain. They won against Spain. Okay. And they played against who was the other team they beat? They beat
Costa Rica.
Yes, and Costa Rica are the 2 they beat. So they beat Spain and Costa Rica, and that's why they get 2 tiebreaker points here.
And interesting enough, and you're probably wondering like, why is Italy at the bottom here when they were like up in the top seed or top 4 for the longest time? But they haven't played against anybody except for France out of this group, so they're only getting the 1 tiebreak point instead. And instead, France is getting the bigger tiebreak points. Plus, they have the largest amount of point gap.
Yeah, sure. So like essentially, it's just a comparison between everyone who's got the same points as you and showing how many of those people with the same points as you you've beaten, and that's how it determines tiebreak points.
Yep. Yeah, and of course the ordering is based on wins, then tiebreak points, and then match points, or not match points, but point diff.
Point difference overall.
Oh, hey, here, they even put a tiny little note here at the top. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a little clarification up the top there in case we forget, or if chat wants to remember, and you can access this board, actually. We do have a command in chat. I believe is it leaderboard? I believe. Yes, so that's the spreadsheet we're looking at here. So if you are interested, you can jump onto that sheet, and as Dashy has shamelessly plugged us, you can see that we do also have a Discord server if you're interested in joining, and also the Twitter account if you're wanting to follow us and see the latest announcements when we go live and see matchups as they are announced.
Fucking 2 go. Anyway, this QWERTY, this is fuck, these are supposed to be 0s. These are what I believe will be your next matches. These ones. I could be wrong. Wait on Revy to clarify it, but I would say there's a good chance that this is your match.
Yeah, Revy's the one with the brain out of all of us here, so...
Dude, I don't even have access to the real-ass fucking leaderboard. Like, I'm just plugging in numbers, man.
So yeah, we've got potentially some incredibly hype matches, and as Dashy said, this is looking pretty likely, but some of these could be shifted and we could just be mistaken. But either way, some incredibly exciting matches to round out our seeding phase before we go into the group stages after next week.
But yeah, that's gonna be the end of week 4. Week 5 is gonna be a little interesting, and then we're gonna move into groups. And yeehaw. Groups is going to be kind of interesting, I think. Groups will be a little bit more compacted and the same teams playing amongst each other, obviously. And I think we mentioned it last night. It'll be interesting to see if we get any trades that, like, or basically where groups have like 3 or maybe even 4 really strong teams that you're going to lose.
Like the death groups, as I know you coined them when we were talking last time.
Yep. But
so anyway. we'll see how the upsets go there. Gonna be an exciting one to see.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, that's gonna be it for definitely this stream, and probably the matches that you're gonna see at least for the next few days. Usually it takes a few days for the next week's matches to start getting planned, so you got a little bit of a break. But in the meantime, thank you, Drask and Rare, for joining me for commentary.
Of course, glad I was able to make it.
Yeah, get your like 3.5 races of commentary in.
Hell yeah, dude.
And thank you guys for watching. I'm too lazy to pull up my directory, so unfortunately I'm not rating anybody.
Dashy Tech, let's go.
Actual Dashy Tech, by the way.
I can throw in a raid if we like. I do see that there is a so Dre is playing. I can see who else, but Dre is playing CTR. Seeing there is an FFA from Astronics as well. So I'm not sure what Dre's doing. He just says content.
It just displays content.
That do be content, I suppose.
So we can send y'all over to some content here.
That is true. Oh yeah, you can just fucking type it in yourself. Yeah. I don't even need to do it.
Yeah, Dashy may be too lazy, but I am not. I will save you, chat. We have some content coming up for you. So, Dre is a fantastic player, as I always say. Incredibly toxic. Don't tell him I said that. So, go over and say hi to him. Go experience the content he has in store for you. So, thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you in a few days when the next matches start coming up.
And I'm only gonna ask this one more time. What is the dog doing?
What's that dog be doing?